Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I wanted to talk about how I personally call my body in when I feel it spiraling out. So I'm going to share a few of the techniques that I use that have helped me, especially in these past couple of weeks, because there's been a lot happening on a collective, energetic scale and personally in my life as well. Let's get to it. Okay, the first thing that I have really been into is taking salt baths. I use pure Epsom salt. This is Dr. Teal's. This is magnesium boosted, infused, and it has, specifically for sensitive skin, I like anything that I'm like soaking in to be really, really gentle on my skin. And I just add 2 cups of this to my bath and I soak for at least 20 minutes. And it really does help. The water is an element of healing anyway, and the salt adds in another element of just helping balance everything in you, from a physical level to a very energetic / spiritual level. On top of taking baths, I started to implement this specific shower ritual because I realized that I was taking on there was a lot of like spiritual settling that was happening within me. And so it was taking a huge toll on me physically as well. This learning things from a spiritual perspective and experiencing certain things that were specifically helping me gain spiritual insight and boost my confidence in my spiritual abilities. And so it definitely took a toll on my physical body and as well as my nervous system. And so I started to implement shower rituals. And so what I basically do is I take my sponge, I put soap on it, and as I'm like putting the soap on my body and exfoliating my body, I'll say out loud whatever is feeling heavy, whatever is causing me to feel stressed or any sort of low vibrational energy. I'll basically like put it on me and make it known. And then as I go to rinse my body and I see the suds fall down and go into the drain, I release everything that I just listed. I release that energy. And the practice of doing it is very powerful. Like when you truly are in a state of like, I truly cannot continue forward, and you really just go off about what is bothering you. Doing this practice helps you see as well as like feel, like as the soap is falling down your body and going down the drain, it feels like that energy is leaving you as well. My next thing that I do is meditation. Meditation, I feel, is something that I am actively learning about. And there are a lot of misconceptions around meditation and around everything, if we're being honest. With meditation, what I have learned and what has helped for me the most is doing it right in the morning when I wake up or right when I'm about to go to sleep. There are some days though where I find myself sitting down in the middle of my day and breathing because I feel emotional overload, sometimes energetic overload, and the only thing I can really do is sit and breathe and just let things move through me with no control, no nothing, just sitting. And so how I do my meditation, I'll either do it silent, no music, or I will listen to a binaural frequency and just listen to the beats. And sometimes I will do meditation specifically to think about something or to clear a specific energy or call in a specific energy. However, sometimes I will just sit and focus on my breath or focus on the frequency that I'm listening to and just really feel my body sinking into my bed or into my chair. The one thing I will say about meditating is that you do not need to do it for a long time. You don't need to do it sitting or standing or laying down for it to count. You don't need to do it outside or inside or whatever. It's whatever you feel. And something that I have learned is that meditation is just allowing yourself to be, just allowing yourself to feel, allowing yourself a moment. The next thing that I have incorporated since I was in high school, but more so now, is drinking herbal tea. My mom did some really good research about specific teas because unfortunately there are a lot of teas that are toxic. So the brands that we love are Numi and Buddha. Any teas from these brands are safe, ethically sourced. You don't have to worry about any sort of pesticides or anything harmful. This tea is specifically for sleeping and relaxation because I went through a period of time where I was not sleeping at all in the night. And then this one is also same effect. This is the Calm blend. Yeah, this one, take it early in the night, okay? Or else you're not gonna wake up the next morning. Not early, okay? Not early. Main thing about these with your herbal tea is just do extensive research on the type of tea brand that you're purchasing because a lot of them are not safe. They're not. They're actually doing more harm than they are good. So yeah, we get these from Sprouts. I'm sure you can get them from another store as well, but Sprouts is where we go. Another thing that I like to do to call my body back to me is listening to soft music or frequencies. I really love to fill my day with smooth jazz, or I have a specific playlist that has like R&B and just like slower music, as well as sometimes I'll just listen to frequencies, and that really helps my nervous system just. This is the complete opposite of listening to music, and it is sitting in silence. Sometimes you really do have to just sit with nothing playing. No sort of noise, no sort of stimulation. I'll just sit in my chair and I'll just be like, just zoned out. And it's really, really nice, honestly, because having zero stimulation really does allow your inner voice to have a moment to speak to you with no sort of distraction. So definitely give yourself an opportunity to just sit with nothing playing, nothing going, no one talking to you. If you have to go and isolate yourself in a closet, go do it. Something that I've been doing ever since I was 7 years old is keeping a journal. Journaling is something that definitely helps me call myself back in because it is having a conversation. I'm writing down how I feel. I'm writing down how my day played out. Sometimes I'll answer prompts. Sometimes it's just free write. And I've met a few people who say that they cannot journal. And I feel like everybody can. They just feel like there's a certain structure you have to follow. There is no structure. There's no rules. You just take a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil and just write whatever is going on in your head. Just write it down. If you feel like maybe writing it down isn't your strength, do a video. You can film yourself talking your emotions out. You can voice memo yourself talking your emotions out. Just allowing yourself to speak with no other person there to interject or to even give their opinion. Just allowing yourself the moment to express. And there's been times where I've been journaling or when I've made a voice memo and I will just be speaking with no sort of plan or writing with no sort of plan. And then what's revealed to me is what has been on my mind. And sometimes I'm not even consciously aware because there's other things going on in the day that I don't really take the moment to see, okay, this has actually been on my mind heavily. So when you allow yourself this dedicated space to express how you're feeling, You'll be surprised sometimes of what comes up. Talking to yourself out loud is also something that can really help you call your body back into itself when you're feeling a little bit out of control, because there is this negative perspective on talking to yourself, and people say that you're crazy if you talk to yourself, but they're crazy for not talking to themselves. Okay, let's be honest. When you're talking to yourself, you are genuinely communicating to a being. You're communicating to consciousness, and it doesn't need to be something outside of you. Speaking to yourself is actually one of the most profound things you can do. I feel people forget that they are their own world. You are a full universe. And so talking to yourself, you come up with ideas, you come up with strategies on how to go about doing something. Things that were suppressed can come to the surface just from you talking to yourself, having a conversation like you would with somebody outside of you. I feel there's not enough proper care and attention given to self. We outsource information quite often in a way that we completely forget that I already have someone who will provide me information, and that is me. You should insource your information rather than constantly going outward and seeking, okay, what's Johnny's opinion? What's Carol's POV? Whatever it may be. Stop going out and go in. I feel that's another reason why we start to feel ourselves out of control, because there's way too much emphasis on gaining control, or like gaining validity from going out. You can't really call what is here back here if you keep going there to call you back here. The last thing that I will say that has helped me is exercising. Anytime I start to feel myself really overstimulated and I feel myself kind of like falling out of control, I'm like, okay, I gotta move this body. I gotta move this physical vessel. And so I'll go to the gym, I'll do some cardio, do some strength training, whatever it may be, just to get myself moving. And if you are not going to a gym or you feel uncomfortable with that, go outside and take a walk. Go outside and just move your body, allow your body to get things moving. Sometimes we feel stuck because there is no motion going on. So you gotta get up, you gotta go on that walk, you gotta go on that jog, you gotta go on that strut, whatever, just move. So I just want to end by saying that I fully comprehend that things are happening right now on a global scale as well as a very personal scale for everybody. There may be a lot of things that are happening right now. Just know though that the more that you put in, the more you will be like, you know what? What's going on out there? Yes, I recognize it. Yes, I see that it's hoopla. However, I'm good here because I take care of what's in here. I know what's in here because I am familiar with it. I've made time to get familiar with what is in here and to properly care about what is in here. Care for you, love you, be there for you as much as you're taught, and you even probably have this inclination to care for others and love others and be there for others. That's all fine and dandy. However, if you don't put that into yourself first, there is no caring, loving, doing for others because you're not even full. Okay? Be full here first and be full here always. Okay? If every single night you can end by saying, I filled myself up, that's golden. Fill yourself up. Call your energy back to you. Call your body back to control. And what I feel control means, it is keeping that body balanced, keeping that body feeling like, you know what? Yeah, I do have a good system going within me, and it works for me, and that's what matters. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.